are discussing about the producer behavior. Okay, I think in the last class, okay, in the part of this producer behavior, okay, we discussed about the like production function. Okay, discussed about the like production function. Okay, production function is nothing but the functional relationship between like input and output is known as the what is called production function. So here the production is the functional relationship of all inputs like NL, KO and others. These are called inputs. Natural resources, that is land, labor, capital and organization. Okay, these are called inputs. This is called output. The functional relationship between these two is known as the production function, what we can say. Okay, here whenever this inputs increases, automatically output will increase. That we know. If we increase the number of labor, we increase the capital. If there are more number of natural resources, then automatically the output will increase. Okay, the output automatically will increase. That all these things we know. So here, whenever we are talking about this one, this is a dependent variable. Output is a dependent variable, whereas input is a independent variable. If independent variable increases, automatically like dependent variables were increases. Okay, dependent variables were increases. That is what we can see. Okay, at the same time, see, whenever we are talking about this particular aspect, generally, if we want to increase, एक मिनट लो सर చెప్పండి సార్ ఓకే సార్ ఓకే సార్ ఓకే సార్ అంటే మిమ్మల్ని ఉండమంటారేమో సారు అవును సార్ ఓకే సార్ ఓకే లేండి సార్, నో ప్రాబ్లం. ఓకే సార్ ఓకే సార్ ఓకే సార్ ఓకే సార్ ఓకే సార్ వ్యవసాయం సైన్స్ అంటే అంటే మన ఈ డిపార్ట్మెంట్ నుంచే ఉన్నామంటున్నారు కదా. ఓకే మెంబర్కి ఎవరైనా ఉండొచ్చు అంటారా? ఓకే సార్ ఇంకా సైన్స్ నుంచి గవర్నమెంట్ తీసుకోవాలి. ఇంకా వాళ్ళు ఇద్దరు కష్టంలే. పెట్టుకుందాం లేకపోతే ఒకరు సైన్స్ నుంచి మేడం వల్ల పెట్టుకుంటే వాళ్ళు ఎవరో ముందుకు వస్తారట అట్లా. ఇప్పుడు లేకుంటే ఇప్పుడు పని చేద్దాం సార్, సైన్స్లో కూడా 2 స్ట్రీమ్లు ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి ఒక లైఫ్ సైన్స్ ఒక ఫిజికల్ సైన్స్ నుంచి పెట్టుకుందాం అట్లా. ఓకే ఓకే సరే సరే ఓకే సరే సరే అయితే ఒకరిని తీసుకున్నాను సార్ సైన్స్ నుంచి, ఎవరినో తీసుకున్నాను. సార్ మంచిదే లేదు సార్, ఇది మంచిదే కొద్దిగా. సరే సరే అవు సార్ అవు 2 కోఆర్డినేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు సార్, ఎందుకంటే 2 కోరిలేటెడ్ కాబట్టి. పిల్లలు ఒకరి అమౌంట్ కట్టడం కష్టమే, ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే అందరూ అటెండ్ అవుతారు కదా కూడా గ్యారెంటీ లేదు సార్ మన పిల్లలతో. ఒక 10 మందిని అయితే ఇవ్వగలను సార్, అట్లా 10 మందిని అయితే ఇవ్వగలను. సర్లేదు సర్లేదు సరే అవును సార్ అవును. ఓకే ఓకే సార్ ఓకే సరే సార్ ఓకే. అయితే ఫస్ట్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ దాంతోనే స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. సర్లేదు సార్ ఓకే 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 సరే సార్ ఓకే ఓకే సార్ ఓకే సార్. కాలేజీలో ఇప్పుడు మనం 10:30కి వస్తాం కదా, వచ్చినాక ఒకసారి కూర్చొని మనం డిస్కషన్ చేద్దాం సార్. సరే సార్ ఓకే ఓకే సార్ ఖచ్చితంగా. అంతే ఇంకంతే, ఇంక మనమే చూసుకుందాం లేదు సార్ అయితే. సరే సార్ ఓకే సార్ ఓకే 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 సార్ అవు సార్ అవు సరే సార్ ఓకే సార్ ఓకే సార్ ఓకే 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 సార్ ఎస్ ఎస్ సార్ సార్ ఇది మంచి ప్రోగ్రామే కదా సార్ అది. ఎస్ ఎస్ సార్ సార్ ఖచ్చితంగా ఎస్ సార్, అది మంచి ప్రోగ్రామ్ వెళ్ళాడు సార్ అది. ఓకే సార్ ఓకే సార్ ఓకే ఓకే సార్ ఓకే సార్ ఓకే ఓకే. Okay, okay, come back. Sorry, I got urgent call, that's why. Okay, anyway, so if you want to increase output, what we have to do? Automatically we have to increase the input. Okay, if the input increases, then automatically output will increases. So here, suppose today there was a market for 100 commodities. We produced 100 goods in our company, but immediately the order came for our commodity 200. Okay, the demand increased for our commodity for 200. Can we increase the production immediately?
Without inputs, it's impossible, sir.
So, okay. Okay, if we want to increase the output, definitely we have to increase the input. Okay, can all inputs can be increases immediately?
No, sir.
So, it is not possible. Suppose if we want more number of labor, immediately we can take, at least temporarily we can take the laborers. But building we can't construct immediately. Okay, like a capital mobilization is not possible immediately. So that's why, so here, whenever we want more output, okay, whenever we want more output, so we know that inputs are increasing, but all inputs, okay, but all inputs will not change. Okay, will not change immediately. Okay, all inputs will not change immediately. That is what we are going to see here. Okay, some inputs may changes immediately, but we can't change all the inputs at the same time. So that is practically it is going to happening. Okay, please keep in mind this statement in your mind. I will come back again. So the point is, if we want to change the inputs, immediately we can't change all the inputs. Okay, but we can change some inputs by like okay, like by keeping remaining of inputs will be constant. Okay, whenever we want to increase our output, so definitely we have to change the inputs, we have to increase the inputs, but all inputs we cannot increase at the same time immediately. So according our requirement, we can increase some inputs by keeping others as a constant. Okay, please remember this point in your mind. So then I will come again later about that point. So here, whenever we are talking about the production function, okay, production function, this production function based on the time we can divide this production function into two categories. That is like short-term production function, okay, short-term production function and long-term production function. Okay, short-term production function and what is called long-term production function. So here, based on the time, of course, actually, when we are talking about the production, there are different varieties of the production function. But in our analysis, in our syllabus, now we have these two categories. That is short-term production function and long-term production function. So other than these two production function, we have many things like Cobb-Douglas production function, okay, linear production function, non-linear production function, okay, short-term production function, long-term production functions. Like that, we have many number of the production functions there. But in our syllabus, we have these two production functions, short-term production function and long-term production function. Okay, these two production functions were divided based on the time. Based on the time, we are going to divide into these two categories. So now we are discussing about these two type of the production function. Okay, production function we are going to be discussed. So here, like one is called short-term production function. Okay, short-term production function. So already I told you, this production function divided based on the time. Okay, this type of the production function divided based on the time. Okay, according to the time we divided this one. Along with this, there is a one more thing, that is long-term production function. So here, short-term production function nothing but here to increase the output, we are going to increase the input. Okay, to increase the output, we are going to increase the output. But in short term, okay, that is immediately. Short term nothing but immediately. We don't have specific time here. Okay, we don't have specific time. Here, short term nothing but immediately we can say. That is, otherwise we don't have any specific time. So in short term, the inputs nothing but factors of production. Okay, here inputs nothing but factors of production. So in short term, inputs all we cannot change, already told you. All inputs will not be changed. But we can increase some inputs. Okay, we can increase some inputs by without changing the some, that is other inputs. Okay, other inputs. That is what we can say. Okay, due to lack of time, why we are not able to change all the inputs in the certain period? Because there is no time. Immediately, it is not possible to change the capital. It is not possible to construct the building immediately. So that's why some of the inputs will not be changed immediately. But if we want the production, we can increase some inputs. So that's why in the short-term production, what we are doing, we are increasing some inputs by keeping constant other inputs as a constant. So by doing this, the producer is going to increase his output. Okay, increase his output. So here, whatever the inputs are changing, that inputs are known as the variable factors. Okay, what is the meaning of the variable factors of production? What is the meaning of the variable factors of production? Variable factors of production is nothing but whatever the inputs can be changes according to the requirement. That type of inputs were called variable inputs. The variable factors of production. For example, labor. Labor is a variable factors of production because labor can be changed immediately. Labor can change. Labor can be increased immediately. If it is not required, labor can be removed immediately. Okay, we can employ immediately, we can remove immediately also. That's why we can say that labor always we can change, always we can increase, always we can decrease.
So capital, sir. Capital.
So the capital sometimes it is not possible. If the money is with you, you can increase the capital. But when the money is not with you, you have to depend on others. So the depend on others nothing but you have to go to bank. So if you go to the bank, they will ask many documents. If all the documents are not available, so if you are not having the mortgage activities, so the banks may not provide the loan. Okay, sometimes it is not possible. So that's why issuing the shares. Okay, even capital nothing but not only money. Capital nothing but construction of building. Capital is nothing but machineries. Capital means not only money. Capital means machineries, equipments, buildings, all these things will come under the capital. So that's why sometimes immediately we cannot change it. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's why here sometimes it is not possible what I am saying, but labor it is sometimes it is available. Okay, but maximum we can change immediately whatever we want about the labor. So that's why here the labor we can say variable factors. Then whatever the variables are not able to change. Okay, whatever the factors, whatever the inputs are not able to change that type of inputs. Okay, that type of inputs are called, okay, that type of inputs are called fixed factors. Okay, this is like fixed factors. Fixed factors nothing but fixed inputs, nothing but not able to change. That means not able to increase, not able to decrease. So that's why whenever you are talking about the short term production, the factors of productions are divided into two categories. Okay, so in the short term production function, the inputs nothing but factors of production. Factors of productions are two categories. One is fixed variables, so otherwise fixed factors of production. Second is variable factors of production. Okay, variable factors of the production. Fixed factors of production or variable factors of the production. This is what we are going to see when we are talking about the short-term production function. So that's why when we are talking about the short-term production function, the inputs are divided into two categories: fixed factors of production and variable factors of production. So what is the meaning of the variable factors of production? Variable factors of production nothing but we can change according to our requirement. We can increase or you can decrease. But fixed factors of production nothing but not able to change according to the requirement. Not able to increase, not able to decrease. Okay, the two type of the factors of production we can see in the short term production function. So that's why in short term, since we have two type of the factors of production, so then we want to increase our output. What we are doing? Variable factors of production are increasing by without changing any fixed factors of production. Please remember, okay, this statement, try to understand. Are you clear this statement? In short term, according to the short term production function, that is in short period, in short term, if we want to increase output, we want to increase the production, we are going to change the variable factors of production by without any changing in the fixed factors of the production. Are you clear about this statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the point. So okay, like this, the producer is trying to increase his production. So how? So here my question is, how the producer is going to increase the production in the short term? That is my question. What do you say? What is your answer? My question is, how the production producer behavior?
Inputs are available with him.
Uh-huh.
Sir, what are the inputs are available with him at that time?
Yeah.
He will do some. Yeah.
Yeah, so whatever the inputs are able to change by that person, that variables, that factors of production will be increased. The remaining is going to be constant, the factors of production. So like that, he is going to increase his production level. Okay, he is going to increase his production that is behavior. Okay, this concept we are going to explain one theory called law of variable proportionate. Okay, law of variable proportionate. So the law of variable proportionate theory, this concept is related to short-term production function. Short-term production function. Okay, in this short-term production function, how the producer is going to be increase his production by keeping some factors of production as a constant and by changing some factors of production are increasing. So that behavior we are going to see in the law of variable proportionate. This theory also known as law of diminishing. Okay, this theory, law of variable proportionate, also known as law of diminishing. Law of diminishing marginal return. Okay, this theory, law of variable proportionate, is also known as law of diminishing marginal returns. Okay, returns. Okay, that theory will be called like that according to in the production function. Okay, in the short-term production function we can see like that. So here, please see, law of diminishing marginal returns or law of variable proportionate. Okay, this theory now we will try to understand. Okay, this theory was developed by many people. Finally, finishing touch was given by, of course, who may be? Law of diminishing marginal return was developed by many people, but finally finishing touch was given by one important person who may be?
Alfred Marshall.
Yes. So in microeconomics, almost all theories were related to like Alfred Marshall only. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the law of variable, okay, proportionate, or this theory also known as the law of diminishing. Okay, law of diminishing, like marginal returns. How it is called law of variable proportionate, or how it is called law of diminishing marginal returns, we will try to understand. So here, see, in the short-term, this theory, already I told you, this theory belongs to short-term production function. Okay, short-term production function. So in the short-term production function, what we are doing? So we are increasing variable factors by without changing the fixed factors. Okay, fixed factors. So in the short-term production function, we are increasing some factors. Whatever the factors are able to change, they were known as the variable factors. And we are not changing some factors, they are called fixed factors. Fixed factors, nothing but we are not able to change. That is. So this is the concept of the short-term production function. So here, Alfred Marshall, when he developed about this law of variable proportionate, he took agriculture as an example. By taking agriculture sector as an example, he developed his theory. He developed this law of variable proportionate theory. So according to Marshall, without changing, so without changing land, that is land quantity not was changed, For example, take 1 acre. Okay, the land was not increased, it was only 1 acre. Okay, it is 1 acre. And technology was not changed. Okay, technology was not changed. Fertilizer not increased. Okay, fertilizers are not increased. Okay, like pesticide not increased. Pesticide is not increased. Irrigation is constant. That means not increased. Irrigation facility for that land not increased. Pesticide, fertilizer, technology, land is not increased. So all these are constant. According to Alfred Marshall, all these are constant. All these are known as fixed factors. See, all these are known as the fixed factors. Why? Because he assumed that all these were not changed. But here, according to Alfred Marshall, only labor was increased. Only labor was increased. Okay, then now, what is the variable factors here?
Labor.
Labor is a variable factor. And the remaining are fixed factors. Okay, labor is a variable factor. Remaining are fixed factors. Okay, then now, according to Alfred Marshall, how the agriculture output, agriculture yield or output by increasing by the farmer by increasing only labor without changing others. Okay, this is what we are going to see in the law of variable proportionate. Like one economist called K.E. Boulding, he also defined the law of variable proportionate like this. Okay, according to this K.E. Boulding, how the output is increasing by changing some factors of production are increasing and without changing some factors of production. Okay, so according to Boulding, also he agreed with the concept of this Alfred Marshall theory. Whatever the Alfred Marshall told, the concept was accepted by this Alfred K. Boulding. Okay, like some factors are increasing, some factors are not increasing, but how the total output is changing, going to be explaining the law of variable proportionate. So Alfred Marshall also told that some factors are constant, but only labor is increasing. When the labor is increasing, how the total output, marginal output and average output is going to be increases, we are going to be seeing in case of the law of variable, what is called law of variable proportionate. So here, for example, okay, for example, here, what happened? Take for example factors. Okay, for example, factors. So in the factors, for example, there is a 1 acre of land plus capital is something. Take for example, one missionary was there, one quintal of fertilizer we are using, like, okay, so here 3 units we are taking fixed factors. Okay, these are the 3. Okay, 1 acre of land, 1 quantity, 1 quintal of the fertility, like 1 missionary. Take for example. So these 3 inputs are there. Only 1 labor is there initially. So what is the ratio of the fixed factors and variable factors? What is the ratio of the fixed and variable factors here?
1:3 now, sir.
Okay, 1:3 or 3:1. Okay, 3 is, what is the 3 here?
Fixed, okay.
Yes, fixed. Yes, fixed. 1 is variable factor. Now,
Where
okay, now,
factor is labor, na, sir.
yeah, labor nothing but variable capital.
Yes, sir.
That is variable factor. Now, what we are doing, the farmer want to increase output. Okay, the farmer want to increase production. But to increase the production in the short term, these fixed factors are not able to change. That means these fixed factors are remaining constant. But here he is increasing labor. Then what is the ratio now?
3:2.
3:2. Okay, further if you want to increase the production, so the fixed factors are going to be constant remaining, but the labor is increasing. Okay, then what is the ratio between fixed factors and variable factors?
Constant, sir.
Okay, see, they are first this is 3:1, then 3:2, 3:4. If you want to increase again, it will become 3:4. If you want to increase again, it will become 3:5, like that. That means here, what is happening? So, what is happening? These variable factors, they are changing. So that means the proportionate is changing. The proportionate between fixed variables and fixed factors and variable factors is changing. So that's why by changing these variable factors, the total proportionate among the inputs are increasing, changing. So by changing this proportionate, how the production is going to be increased, how the production is going to be changed, that we are going to be discussed in the what is called law of variable proportionate. Okay, law of variable proportionate. Okay, here suppose this this inputs will be like this. Okay, this is inputs. Okay, inputs. Here the production is how many types? We discussed in the last class. Production is 3 types. One is total production, average production, and marginal production. So when this inputs ratio is changing, what would be change in the total production? We will see. And what would be change in the average production? And what would be change in the marginal production? Okay, marginal production. Average production, how it is going to be change in the total production, average production, and marginal production when this inputs ratio or suppose will be like this. Suppose the inputs ratio is like 3:1. Okay, 3:1. That means 3 is a fixed factors, whereas 1 is a variable factors. Okay, here variable factor is nothing but in our example labor. Fixed factors is nothing but land, fertility, fertilizer, irrigation, like that many things. All are constant, but we are only increasing the number of labors. Okay, suppose there is a 80 units of the production. Take for example, okay, 80 quintals we produce, take example. Then automatically, what will be the average production? We will get 80. How we will find out the average production? Average production nothing but total production by number of labor.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, number of labor nothing but we are taking only variable factors. The fixed factors is not related for us, just only for the, to know the ratio only we are going to take. Okay, that is 80 by 1 is equal to 80. Marginal production also 80 automatically. Now, if the here the farmer want to increase his production in the short run, okay, to increase the short run production, definitely he has to increase the input. But since it is a short run, all factors are not able to increase. That's why whatever that we have the fixed factors, they are the constant. We are increasing only variable factors. Now this is the ratio proportionate between factors, fixed factors and variable factors was changed. Now, so for example, the producer produced 170 quintals, take for example, 170 kgs for example per acre. Okay, then what is the average production? What is average production? 170 by 2.
85.
So 85. What should be the marginal production? Marginal production. Huh?
90, sir.
90, yes, exactly. 90. Okay, then now, again the farmer want is increase his production. Okay, to increase production, he has to change input. But only variable inputs can be changed in the short run. That's why it became a 3:3 ratio. When this variable factors was increased, of course his total production may be 270 per example, 270 kgs. Okay, then what should be the average production?
90.
90.
Sir.
Okay, then what about the marginal production?
100.
Yes, 100. Okay, then now, again the farmer want to increase his production. To increase his production, his ratio was increased like this. The fixed factors are constant. The variable factor, that is labor, was increased. Suppose his total production will be like 368. Somewhat. We have to take example only total production. Based on the total production, we can calculate the average production and marginal production. But we have to assume the total production when we are talking. So here, now, okay, this is the total production. If this is the total production, what should be the average production?
92.
Okay, 92. Okay, then what about the marginal production? (368 minus 270) nothing but 98 will be the marginal production. Okay, here practically you may be some of in our group, some of you may be from the agriculture, from the farming community. Okay, your parents may be doing the farming activity, that is agriculture activities. So here, for example, you have 1 acre of land, you are not increasing your land, you are not using the fertility, you are not increasing your fertility, you are not going to increase your pesticide, irrigation and everything. Without increasing all these things, if we increase only labor, can the production will increase? Can the production will increase?
No, sir.
No. After some time the production may not be increased. Okay? Yes, sometimes if less number of the labor are there in the farming activity, so then if you increase the labors, the production may be increases. But after some time, without changing all these things, you increase only labor, the production may not be increased. May not increase so much. Suppose here we are talking about the producer behavior. Since the farmer want to increase his production, for example, then to increase his production, what you have to do? So it will become 3:5. Because this he is not able to change, he can change only inputs. He can change only inputs. That is variable factors. Now, suppose the total production may be called 430 units. 430 kgs per example. Then what should be the average production now? Okay, like it is 86 approximately. Okay, 86. Then what should be the marginal production? It is 62.
60.
It is 62. Okay, yes, see, the total production may be increased. Then what happened in the average production? It was decreased. What happened in the additional production? That is marginal production? It was decreased. It was decreased. Okay, suppose the farmer want to still increase his production. He changed his inputs like this 3:6 ratio. So then his production may be 480. Then average production is like 80. Then marginal production will be only 50. Okay, if suppose still you want to increase his production, his ratio was increased to 3:7. His total production may be 504. Okay, then average production will be 72. Then marginal production will be only 24. Only 24. Okay, if the still you want to increase his production, he has to change like 3:8. So his marginal total production will reach the peak stage. Okay, it is remain constant. Why total production was not increased even though labor were increased now? Why total production was constant even though labor were increased? What happened here? Huh?
So due to all other factors are constant.
Constant.
Those labors are more enough for them.
Yes,
and,
yes, yes.
excess for them.
Yes, if the remaining people will employed in that field, they will come disguised employees. You know the concept of the disguised unemployment?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so like that, even though this 8th labor was appointed, his actual production is 0. Okay, then average production will be like 63. Then marginal production is 0. Okay, the marginal production is 0. Suppose still you want to increase. అనుకోండి. Okay, if you still the farmer want to increase his production, then what is doing? For example, okay, 3:9. Okay, is increasing 3 to 3:9. Then the total production instead of increasing, so it is going to be decreasing to 495. Total production will be 495. Then average production automatically 55. Then marginal production will be in the negative with minus. Okay, the production is going to be decreased. That means production is going to decreasing nothing but here if we increase the number of labors, it will be additional burden to the producer. Okay, it is more cost to the producer. Unnecessary the producer, that is farmer is paying salary or wages or wages to the labor. That's why his output in the income level is going to be decreases. Okay, his actual production is minus 90. Okay, if suppose you want to increase, then it will become 3:10. Okay, then total production again it is going to be decrease 450. Average production may be 444. The marginal production may be minus 55. Okay, minus 55. Okay, like that, whenever this factors of productions ratio is changing, the total production, average production and marginal production will be changing like this. If the rational producer, where the production is going to be stopped, tell me. Where the producer is going to stop his production? Okay, where the production is 504. Okay, that is where 3:7 or 3:8. Okay, there the producer is going to stop his production. Beyond he will not go. He will go beyond that. What will happen to the producer? What will happen to the producer if you will go beyond that one?
He will get losses.
Loss. So no producer want loss. No producer want loss. That's why he will stop there only. Okay. So here, up to this is known as the first stage. Okay, in the production function, according to the law of variable proportionate, okay, this production will be divided into 3 stages. First stage, okay, the second is, this is called second stage, okay, second stage, and this is known as the third stage, okay, third stage. Okay, in the third stage, what the producer is getting? Loss. Okay, loss is getting. So, in the first stage, whenever he is increasing labor, what is the production? What is the production? Increasing with the increasing rate. Please see. Production is increasing with the increasing rate. Here, from year to year, how much it was increased? Only 90. From year to year, how much it was increased? 100 it was increased. From year to year, almost it was increased to 98. So like that, the production is increasing with the increasing rate. Then if you are the producer, can you stop the production in the first stage?
No, sir.
No. Why you are not stopping your production in the first stage?
His production is increasing.
Increasing. If the labor is increasing, that is labor increasing nothing but expenditure is increasing. At the same time, output also increasing like anything. Output increasing nothing but more output, more income is getting. So expenditure is increasing, income level is increasing, the income level is increasing more than his expenditure. Okay, like that. So no producer will stop the production in the first stage. No producer will not enter in the third stage because he is getting a loss. So then the rational producer always will try to continue his production in the second stage only. Okay, second stage, it may be 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, like 3:8. So in this, anywhere, in the second stage, anywhere he can stop his production. Okay, like that the producer is going to be continue his production. Production is going to be continue.
How do you divide stages, sir? How do you divide stages, sir? First stage, second stage, third stage.
Okay, in the first stage, the total production is increasing with the increasing rate. Are you getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, in the second stage, total production is increasing with the decreasing rate. See, for example, year to year the production was increased from 430 to 480. How much it was increased to 50? From year to year the production was increased. How much only it was? 24. From year to it was increased only 0. Okay, in the second stage, the production is increasing with decreasing rate. But whereas in the third stage, production is increasing with negative rate. That is, the total production itself is coming down. Please remember. The total production itself is coming down. That means marginal production is in the negative. In the first stage, what is happening? Marginal production increasing. Please remember. Increasing. In the second stage, what is marginal production is doing? Decreasing. In the third stage,
Negative. It becomes negative.
okay, negative. Okay, like based on the production changes, we are dividing into these three stages. Okay, here finally, what the marginal production is doing? Finally, it is diminishing gradually. Marginal production is diminishing gradually. That's why this law of variable is known as law of diminishing. Okay, diminishing marginal returns. Return nothing but production. Okay, since the marginal production is diminishing, according to this law of variable proportionate, okay, this theory was known as law of diminishing marginal returns. Okay, that is what we can say in this law of variable proportionate. Okay, so here, see, if we explain this concept in the diagram, okay, if we explain this concept in the diagram, okay, this is the diagram. On the OX axis, we are going to measure the number of labor. Number of labor we are measuring. Okay, here, where in the OX axis. In the OY axis, we are going to measure the all type of the production, like total production, average production, and marginal production. Okay, all the type of the production we are going to be seeing. Okay, see, we know that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, like 9, 10. Okay, up to 10, the labors were increased, suppose. Then, okay, these are the production. Take for example, okay, this is the 20, okay, like 40, 60, 80, 100, like, okay, here it is more than 500. Take example, one is 50. Okay, 50, 100, like 150, even you take 100 also. Okay, 100, 200, 300, 400, this is 500. For example, this is 600. Okay, for example, you take the first total production. When is labor is 1, what is the total production? 80. I told you 80. Okay, if it is the total, this is the labor 1, 80 total production, I think, but it is 100, means it will be below, like, so it will be like. In the second, the total production is 170. 170 nothing but below 200. It may be like this. So at the labor 3, total production is 270. So like this. Okay, at the labor 4, the total production is 368. Like it is near 400. Okay, like for example, this is. Okay, at the time, okay, here, when the labor is 5, total production is 430. This is 400, this is 430, like. Okay, at the labor is 60, what is the total production? 480. 480 nothing but below 500, it is like, for example, okay, this will be. Okay, then now, when the labor is 7, what is the total production? 504, this is above 500, like this is. Okay, at the time of labor 8 also, it will be equal to 408. Okay, when the labor is 9, total production is 495, so it is below 500, like, okay, this one now, it will be like. Okay, at the time of, when the labor is 10, the total production is 440, okay, it will be like this. Okay, if we add all these points, okay, we will get the, what is known as the total production. Okay, the total production curve we will get like this. Total production curve we will get like this. Okay, like this, if you add all this, what is called average production points, so they also will be like this. Okay, we will get average production curve will be like that. Okay, whenever we are talking about the marginal production, okay, suppose this is the marginal production. Okay, this is the marginal production. So where this will, it like that the marginal production curve will be like this. Okay, this will be the marginal production curve. Okay, based on the points you will get the curves like this. See, you do practice that curve, just based on the points you will get. If you see exactly, the curves will be like this. Okay, this will be the total production curve. Okay, this will be the average production curve. This will be the marginal production curve. Okay, this will be called first stage. This will be called second stage. This will be called third stage production. Okay, third stage in the production. Okay, based on the table only we draw this diagram. Please remember, based on the table only we draw this diagram. Okay, in the first stage, what happened? See, this is the total production. It is increasing with increasing rate. In the second stage, the total production is increasing with decreasing rate. But in the third stage, the total production itself is coming down. Okay, this is the total production. Okay, the average production will be like this. So again it is started to decrease. So it will be like that. Average production curve never touch the OX axis. Please remember. Finally it will go to parallel. But it will not touch the OX axis. That is average production curve. Okay, here, what happened to the marginal production? First it was increased more than the average production. Initially it was increased more than average production, but later it was decreased. Okay, decreased and finally reached to zero when the total production will reach peak stage. When the total production is maximum, the marginal production will be zero. When the total production is decreasing, the marginal production is below zero. This is zero now, or nothing but zero. Below this nothing but it is negative value.
It's negative.
Okay, negative only. That's why here, based on this diagram, in the first stage, all are increasing. Total production is increasing, marginal production is increasing, average production is increasing. In the second stage, total production is increasing, but average production and marginal production started to decrease. In the second stage, total production continually increasing, but whereas average production and marginal production is started to decrease. But in the third stage, all are decreasing. Total production started to decrease. Of course, the average production continually decreasing. The marginal production is decreasing, and even it was went to the negative also. Okay? So here, when the total production will be maximum, there marginal production will become a zero. Zero nothing but it touches the OX axis. Okay, like this. Okay, here the rational producer, he will not enter in the third stage. Okay, he will not stop his production in the first stage. So in the second stage only, the producer will continue his production. Okay, producer will continue his production in the second stage only. Not enter. Why will not enter? If he will enter in the third stage, he will get loss. Why he will not stop his production in the first stage? If so, here in the first stage he is going to get more profit. When the producer is getting more profit, nobody will stop the production. Okay, nobody will stop the production there. That's why you will continue his production in the first stage. So then you will enter the second stage. Okay, there he is getting normal profits. But if he enter the third stage, he will get loss. That's why nobody will enter. Okay, so here, there the production will be, production is going to be stopped. Okay, this is producer behavior in the short term. Okay, yeah, what is happening? Only we are see the main points in this one is short-term production function. Short-term production function nothing but whenever the producer want to increase his production, he want to change his inputs, but in the short-term all inputs are not able to change. That's why some inputs are changing, some inputs are not changing. Like that the factors ratio is changing, proportionate is changing. When there is a proportionate of factors changing, how the production is going to be changed are going to be discussed in the short-term production function, particularly in the law of variable proportionate theory. Okay, according to this theory, if all other things remain constant, only labor only increases continuously, the total production first will increase with increasing rate, later it will increase with a decreasing rate. Finally, after some time, after in the third stage, is the total production is going to be decrease. Okay, based on the total production, we can see average production and marginal production. In the first stage, marginal production will be increased. In the second stage, marginal production will be decreased. Okay, and in the third stage, the marginal production will be in the negative. Okay, since when the labor is increasing, the marginal production is continuously decreasing. Okay, diminishing. That's why this law of variable proportionate theory is also known as the law of diminishing marginal return. Return nothing but here production. Okay, this is what we can see in this particular case in the short-term production.